Welcome to the 48th Annual San Diego Press Club Excellence in Journalism Awards.
Good evening. My name is Nicole Vargas, second vice president of the San Diego Press Club. Last year, these awards were virtual, and we assumed it would be for the only time. But here we are again, happy to have this chance to celebrate and support each other, no matter how or where we do it. A little bit about the Press Club Awards. The Press Club Awards are peer judged. This means that your peers, professionals who do exactly what you do in 15 markets across the country, decided which out of 1,000 entries were the winners. And wherever you place, having a Press Club Award is a major accomplishment, and you should be very proud of yourself. We are here in the San Diego Automotive Museum, which is the new home of the San Diego Press Club. Please welcome Lenny Lisinski, the museum's executive director.
Hello, and thank you for having me. I'm so excited to have the Press Club using our venue for their awards ceremony and being here for meetings and such. It's a real privilege to work with everybody, and I hope we continue to have success and a relationship in the future. So thank you very much, everybody, and good luck to everyone.
Thanks to Lenny and his staff for accommodating us this evening. Tonight, we're going to present the Best in Show, the Special Awards, Scholarships, and the At-Large categories. At the close of the presentation, the complete list of winners will arrive in your inbox via the foghorn, and you'll also find the list on the Press Club website at sdpressclub.org/awards. And don't forget to share your news and tonight's memories on social media. On Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, you can find us at SD Press Club. And please, tonight, use the hashtag JAwards2021. So, on to the proceedings. Let's talk first about the Best in Show process. Each year, all the first place winners in each division are judged a second time, head to head. That means all the first place winners in the magazine division, for instance, were rejudged and a Best of Show was chosen. Thanks to our friends at the San Francisco Press Club for judging Best of Show awards for us. So now, the winners of the Best of Show in magazine entries is Raman Skiba for his story, Solar Storms Can Wreak Havoc. We Need Better Space Weather Forecasts in Science News magazine. The judges said, space weather, what is that? After reading the story, now we know. And we realize why being able to predict solar storms is critical to the survival of Earth's communication systems and power grids. Skiba's in-depth reporting, going back to Galileo through studies currently being conducted by the Royal Observatory of Belgium, he outlines the ways scientists are seeking ways to predict these events and protect our infrastructure. And tonight isn't just the best virtual media party of the year. It is also the annual meeting of the board of directors of the San Diego Press Club. A month or so ago, Press Club members received a link to vote online for the 6 seats on the board of directors that were up for election. And members voted again last week online to ratify the board election and the board officers. And they have elected a president and other officers to serve for the coming year. And here to make that introduction, please welcome your current secretary and chair of the nominating committee, Jean Ferris.
Thank you, Nicole. Good evening. At a meeting of the Board of Directors on October 11th, 2021, the following slate of officers and directors was proposed. Officers are President Eileen Gaffin, First Vice President Denise Scatina, Second Vice President Nicole Vargas, Treasurer Andrew James, myself as Secretary, Immediate Past President Albert Fulcher, Directors Cliff Albert, Sarah Austin, Kristen Castillo, Luis Cruz, Maggie Espinoza, John Fox, Rick Griffin, Elaine Masters, Ebony Monet, Janine Nakama, and Bob Stefanko. Directors Emeritus are Laura Walcher, Gail Lynn Falkenthal, Reed Carroll, Barbara Metz. The results of last week's email vote confirmed this slate, and new officers were elected. Please meet and welcome the 2021-2022 re-elected president of the San Diego Press Club for a second year, Eileen Gaffin.
Thank you. Thank you, Jean. I'm honored to serve for a second term as president of the San Diego Press Club. And a big thanks to our outgoing board members who contributed greatly to our club. And I want to welcome our new board members for joining us this year. For journalists here in America and around the world, this has been a dangerous year, accentuated by physical and verbal attacks. It was inspiring when just a few weeks ago, 2 international journalists won the Nobel Peace Prize as they face increasing pressure from authoritarian governments. The journalists Maria Ressa of the Philippines and Dmitry Muratov of Russia, they were recognized for, quote, their courageous fight for freedom of expression, which is a precondition for democracy and lasting peace. The San Diego Press Club champions the rights of hundreds of working journalists and welcomes public relations professionals and students to our membership. Despite the pandemic and the challenges that we have all faced this past year, our press club continued to provide virtual educational programming with a new membership masterclass series and the ever popular Write Better, Right Now. We will bring more programming into 2022, and we will meet in person as soon as safely possible. And now, on with the awards.
Congratulations, Eileen, the officers, and especially our brand new board members, Bob, John, Elaine, and Sarah. Now let's get back to the other business of the night. Of all the first place winners in the online and daily news categories, the best of show winners are Kate Morrissey, Lauren Schroeder, Nelvin Cepeda, Alejandro Tamayo, and Ruby Gaviola for their series Returned in the San Diego Union Tribune. The judges said, a most comprehensive exploration of the obstacles facing those seeking asylum in the United States. This series is told through the eyes of people who are experiencing it firsthand. Researching into 10 years of court records revealed a system that has been broken almost from its inception, only to be made worse by the Trump administration's campaign against asylum. It's not an easy read. This is a system without systems. It's a capricious process torn apart by systemic bias, racism, xenophobia, and despair. Well done, well told, just simply great reporting. Congratulations. Putting this event together is a big job, especially this year. And we'd like to thank Jim Kotick from Voice and Video and Mark Mazenev from Newhouse Creative Services for producing this event. Thank you so much. And speaking of heroes, let's hear from Press Club Executive Director, Terry Williams.
Thanks, Nicole. Tonight, we celebrate 48 years of excellence and the power that is the San Diego Press Club. All of us whose lives and careers course through this community and connect here tonight know about this power. And we all know that journalism itself is under tremendous amount of pressure. Social and political forces have eroded trust in journalism. Economic uncertainty is challenging the sustainability of news organizations. But I say to all communicators, journalists, public relations professionals, corporate and government PIOs, all of you, keep doing what you're doing. Find the issues, shine light on what is needed. And I say to all of you as consumers, subscribe to and support the news outlets that you depend on. It's important to keep the Fourth Estate strong for future communicators who have stories to pursue and results to tell. The San Diego Press Club will be here to support you, to educate you, and to celebrate your excellent work. We are relying on you to inspire and mentor the next generation of communicators and to advocate for the issues that are important to them. Let me tell you a little bit about this next generation. I Googled some recent Press Club scholarship recipients and made an amazing discovery. Here's an example. Nicholas Kjeldgaard, a 2016 scholarship recipient, is a producer at NBC San Diego now. Katie Stiegel from 2018 as well as 2020 is a member of the investigative team at KPBS. Lauren Mapp, a recipient in 2018, is a lifestyle reporter for the San Diego Union Tribune. And Umberto de Dio from 2017 is now a public outreach specialist at the San Diego County Library. And wonderfully, the other scholarship recipient from 2017 wins a Best of Show tonight. I'll let Nicole fill you in on that later when it's announced. So why are we here? To recognize excellent work, of course, but also to demonstrate a commitment to the future of journalism, to ensure that voices like tonight's scholarship winners, Elaine and Julia, will have a path to a future in journalism, to have a way to fulfill their dreams and goals. So, in 2009, when the country was struggling out of the recession, former club president and Andy Mace recipient Barbara Metz came up with one of her great ideas. And here to tell you about it is Barbara Metz herself.
I'm here to acknowledge and thank the 46 Press Club members and friends who have contributed to the success of this evening by becoming honorary committee members. We started the honorary committee in 2009 in the midst of the recession to provide financial support to our club and our scholarship program. Little did we know how crucial it would be to our financial well-being. To date, we have raised more than $65,000. I invite you to become an honorary committee member. It's simple. No meetings, no responsibility, just a $100 donation. And to thank you, we schedule some great events through the year. Finally, I'd like to give a shout out and special thanks to the 25 members and friends who have individually contributed $1,000 or more. Together, these stalwart members have contributed $29,000. You'll recognize many as the leaders of the journalism and communications profession in San Diego County. Here they are: J.W. August, Barbara Bree, Reed Carroll, Fred Cunningham, Nancy Davidson, Chris Etland, Maggie Espinoza, Gail Falkenthal, Lynn Friedman, Rick Griffin, Robert Griswold, Elizabeth Hansen, Nicole Larson, Barbara Metz, Dennis Morgino, Pauline Ripard, Maite Rodriguez, Don Severance, Tom Sprague, Lee Swanson, Denise Vetter, Laura Walsher, Teresa Warren, Lori Weisberg, and our own Terry Williams. Thank you all. You've just been so important to the Press Club's existence.
And now it's time to give some of that away. In the club's history, more than $165,000 in scholarships have been awarded to talented journalism students. This year, the club would like to thank, in addition to the honorary committee and its member donors, the San Diego Union Tribune and Cox for their generous contributions. Here to make the scholarship presentation is Press Club Director Cliff Albert.
In addition to recognizing the excellent work of professionals, the Press Club is dedicated to supporting the next generation. Since the earliest days of the club in the 70s, promising journalism students have received scholarships that in many cases made it possible for them to continue to pursue their dreams. For this year, our friends at the San Francisco Press Club examined the many applications and came up with the winners. The first scholarship recipient is Elaine Alfaro, a sophomore at Point Loma Nazarene University. With a double major of multimedia journalism, writing, and international studies, her career goal is to become a print journalist who writes about immigration issues, specifically the issues faced by Asian immigrants. She's currently the opinion editor of the student-run newspaper, The Point, and the writing and research assistant for the alumni magazine, The Viewpoint. She receives the Press Club Director's Scholarship of $2,500. Congratulations, Elaine. The second scholarship of the evening is named for longtime San Diego Evening Tribune reporter Frank Saldana. As a reporter, Frank was known as the best breaking news reporter and knew every alley and shortcut in town, often scaring anyone who rode with him to the crime scene. He won a Pulitzer Prize for his work on the 1978 PSA plane crash at an East San Diego neighborhood and was the first emeritus board member of the San Diego Press Club. This scholarship of $2,500 goes to Julia Annette Wook. Julia impressed the judges with her determination, her outlook on life, and her ability to communicate sensitive and even heartbreaking stories about life along the U.S.-Mexico border. She was the editor-in-chief of the Southwestern College Sun and is now in her first quarter at UC Riverside, and we say congratulations to Julia. And best wishes to you both. We will be watching your careers. While on the subject of colleges, I'll announce the winner of Best College Newspaper. It goes to the Southwestern College Sun. The judges said distinguished, distinctive, unsurpassed in this year's competition. The Sun sets the bar for what a student newspaper can do. It's at once up close and personal, in-depth, and high level in the way reporters, editors, and creatives gather, organize, and present the news about the communities and lives that they cover.
Thank you, Cliff, and congratulations to Elaine, Julia, and the staff of the Sun. Earlier, I mentioned this is the 48th Annual Press Club Awards. That means back in 1973, the Press Club was born in a bar. The place now known as Dobson's Downtown used to be the Press Room Bar, named that because it was directly across the street from what was known as the offices of the San Diego Union and Tribune. So one evening at the Press Room Bar, Andy Mace and a few of his friends came up with the idea for the Press Club. Andy worked for Pacific Bell as the head of public relations, a true leader in the PR profession. And so the Press Club's award honoring the career achievements of public relations professionals is named after Mace, who was the first recipient of this award. To introduce this year's Andy Mace Award for Outstanding Contribution in Public Relations, here's Gail Falkenthal.
On December 31st, 2020, Scott McGaugh wrapped up a 25-year tour of duty aboard the USS Midway Museum, first as a founding board member back in the 1990s, and then becoming the founding marketing director before the museum opened in 2004. If you weren't in San Diego when the idea of an aircraft carrier becoming a museum was first floated, you might be surprised to hear it wasn't immediately embraced. It seemed like a crackpot idea from a somewhat eccentric business owner and sometime political candidate named Alan Yuke. But Yuke persisted, and his vision eventually won out skeptics and amassed enough supporters to make it happen. And one of them was Scott McGaugh. At every step along the way, Scott helped open or opened the doors to the next developmental step. What was intended for him to be a temporary assignment lasted 3 decades. Scott used his years of experience from running his own PR firm to creatively employ imaginative methods to embed the Midway in the San Diego tourism scene. Now it's nearly impossible to imagine the San Diego Bayfront without the Midway Museum, and it's become a landmark as entwined with San Diego as the San Diego Zoo. It's not an exaggeration to credit Scott in large part for this today. I know Scott to be well organized, task-oriented, and easy to work with. He is an asset to any project. But with the Midway, there was a special connection. In many ways, Scott became the face of the museum, and some would say its heart and soul, too. Upon retirement, Scott wrote, "I'll forever be grateful for the opportunity to be part of the Midway magic embodied by the museum's leadership, staff, volunteers, partners, and members. They are a remarkable group of San Diegans, and I salute each one." Well, rest assured, Scott won't be spending his days at the end of a fishing pole. He's currently working on his 11th book, and I have no doubt he'll be pitching in on some compelling new project before he can stop himself. You can read more about Scott's bio in the program, and I hope you will. But for now, let's hear from the man we honor tonight with the Andy Mace Award for Career Excellence in Public Relations, Scott McGaugh.
Thank you, Gail, for those very kind comments, and thank you to the San Diego Press Club for this honor. You know, I have to tell you, I didn't see this coming, and at the end of my career, it really has meant a great deal to me and will continue to, and it's really caused me to reflect a little bit about my career and how I got started owning a small newspaper in Durango, Colorado, and really developing an appreciation for reporters, the news media, and just how difficult a job they have. And by the time I got to midway toward the end of my career, in the second half, I had made a vow that I would never pitch a story that didn't have legitimate news or feature value to listeners, readers, or viewers, and try to be as responsive as possible. And I have to tell you, the members of the San Diego Press Club were always appreciative of that. They were always very professional. They were reliable. They were honest. They understood when I couldn't be perhaps quite as forthcoming as I would like to be sometimes, but it was a relationship based on mutual respect that I came to value greatly. In fact, my favorite part of being the marketing director aboard Midway was media relations. Anytime I had a story to develop or pitch or work with a member of the press club, it was the highlight of my day. And actually, you know, when I think about it, there were some people along the way that made me and Midway and this award possible. Jack Daniels, here's a Freudian slip. Jack Bertman and Dick Daniels gave me a place to land when I came back to my hometown. Peter McCracken became a very good friend, collaborator, and business partner for many years, and is still a great friend. Those folks and so many others really set me on a path that really leads to these comments tonight. But at the end of the day, my thanks have to go back to the San Diego Press Club and Gail's thoughtfulness in her nomination. Coming from professional journalists, this award means so much to me. So again, thank you so much, and I wish you all fair winds and following seas.
We're so happy for you, Scott. Congratulations. Now it's time for the Harold Keene Award, given to the journalist who has gone above and beyond for the sake of fairness and truth-telling. Back in the day, Harold Keene was known as the Dean of San Diego journalism. He came to San Diego in 1936 as a reporter for a newspaper called the San Diego Sun. He later reported for the San Diego Union, served as contributing editor of San Diego Magazine, and was editorial director at KFMB. To introduce this year's recipient of the Harold Keene Award is Paul Kruger.
Of course, I'd like to thank Jeff for the wonderful work he's done at the Union Tribune in exposing a number of scandals that really needed attention. And in thanking him, I'd also like to apologize to him and to all the members of the press club for not making this nomination earlier. Like everybody, I was just busy with my life and my work, and it wasn't until this year when I read Jeff's work on Ash Street, the Ash Street property debacle, that I also covered at NBC before my retirement, that I realized I couldn't put this off any longer, and I had to help get Jeff recognition for his work in any way I could. My first readings of Jeff's work, though, were years ago when he covered the problem of thefts at the food bank and also deaths at the county jail, work he did with Kelly Davis. That was super, super important. He's just gone on to do wonderful work, and for me, most importantly, as a government watchdog, which I think is everything we expect from a Harold Keene Award winner. So in closing, I want to say thank you again, Jeff. Thank you to your editors for supporting your work. And I'd urge everybody here to support outlets that they think are doing important work. Subscribe to the paper, watch your local television station, spend money at their advertisers, donate to online news sources that you feel are doing the kind of work that needs to be done in town, and keep up the good work, all of you. Thank you very much to everyone for recognizing Jeff with this great honor.
Hello, this is Jeff McDonald, watchdog journalist at the San Diego Union Tribune. I wanted to say thank you so much to the San Diego Press Club and especially to previous recipients of the Harold Keene Award for this incredible honor. It's made even more special because it's voted on, I understand, by former recipients who have certainly been there and done that as far as the kind of work I do. I think watchdog and accountability journalism is some of the most important work that media produce these days, and you certainly don't make a lot of friends, but it is important to keeping the government honest and maintaining our state as a fourth estate. So again, I wanted to thank the San Diego Press Club specifically and former recipients of the Harold Keene Award for this incredible honor. Thank you so, so much.
Very well deserved, Jeff. Congratulations. And now for our next award. Jim Ryman was the assistant news director at Channel 10 and was known as that rarest of birds, the sort of manager for which you want to work. The award named in his honor is the Jim Ryman Enlightened Media Management Award, and this year's recipient is Phyllis Pfeiffer. Here to introduce her is Jeff Light, publisher and editor of the San Diego Union Tribune.
It is my great pleasure to introduce Phyllis Pfeiffer, the winner of this year's Jim Ryman Enlightened Media Management Award. Phyllis is president and general manager of the Union Tribune's community press and a longtime champion of journalism. Her industry credentials and personal character make Phyllis a person of rare insight with good judgment and exceptional leadership skills. Phyllis began her newspaper career at the La Jolla Light, where she served as publisher from 1977 to 1987. She left the Light 34 years ago to become general manager of the Los Angeles Times San Diego edition. After the Times closed in San Diego, she headed north to become president and publisher of the Marin Independent Journal, and later the vice president of advertising for the San Francisco Chronicle. So, what's it like to work for Phyllis? Here are a few comments from her staff. She always makes me feel supported. Phyllis always has my back. Phyllis is a great leader. I would just like to say thank you to Phyllis for being such a great person to work for. Phyllis Pfeiffer, thank you for all that you do for our industry.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, San Diego Press Club Board. I am honored to receive the Jim Ryman Award, named after a journalist who was a master of behind-the-scenes orchestration. And I'm especially grateful to have been nominated by Jeff Light, who is one of the most inspirational leaders that I've had the pleasure to work with during my 48-year career in newspapering. Jeff brings an integrity, humanity, and compassion to the job, in addition to being a superb editor and publisher. Journalism, as you all know, is a team sport, and my success is a direct reflection of the talented and dedicated editors, reporters, sales execs, designers, and support staff that contribute every day to our weekly and monthly publications. And then there's our readers, who tell us that they love their local papers through letters to the editor and voluntary contributions. And I can't finish without acknowledging Patrick Soon-Shun, who owns the UT Community Press as well as the Union Tribune and the LA Times. He is a great owner who provides us with the freedom, support, and tools to excel at our jobs. And thanks again to the San Diego Press Club, to Jeff Light, and the entire staff of UT Community Press. Thank you.
Congratulations, Phyllis. Up next, The award for Best in Show in Television Online Video goes to Catherine Garcia, Tom Jones, Jay Yu, Armando Flores, and Rafael Avitavile for their story, Breakdown San Diego County's Mental Health Care Crisis on NBC 7 39. The judges said this coverage, the result of a year's worth of reporting and research, reveals a dysfunctional mental health care system in San Diego, with interviews with those most affected, patients, advocates, healthcare workers, and even librarians. This series breaks down the issues and, more importantly, explores solutions. Congratulations. And now it's time for Best of Show in Non-Daily Newspaper Award. It goes to Natalie Rocha for her story, A Paradigm Shift in Tech, in the San Diego Business Journal. The judges said, reading this story, we felt we were gazing into the future of the crossroads of technology and healthcare. It's a shift from using technology developed in the 80s to utilizing electronics and computers in life sciences for diagnostics and research. Congratulations to Natalie Rocha for enterprising this fascinating development. And remember Terry saying that a former scholarship recipient is a Best of Show winner tonight? That's Natalie from the San Diego Business Journal. Congratulations. And now for Best in Show in Radio Podcast Entry, the winners are Jill Castellano and Mary Plummer for Donovan's Deaths. Inmates died of COVID-19 while their families were kept in the dark, on inewssource.org. The judges' comments. A story of families discovering months after the fact that their incarcerated family members had died of COVID. Faced with stonewalling by prison officials, this team of reporters reviewed medical examiners' reports, legal proceedings, death certificates, and interviewed relatives of those who had died. The resulting story paints a disturbing picture of a prison system that prioritizes privacy over transparency in life and death. Congratulations. We're down to our last three awards of the night. Here to introduce the Rising Star for 2021 is Board Immediate Past President Albert Fulcher.
The Rising Star Award was started a few years ago, and we've seen former recipients truly flourish in their professions. And we foresee that this year's award, Katie Stokes, will continue to be a success in her field. After dabbing in a couple of careers, Katie has finally settled into her groove. She is the current owner of Edible San Diego magazine, one of 80+ edibles across the U.S. and Canada. As a longtime reader of the Edible San Diego magazine, she appreciated its focus on seasonal food, local farmers, talented chefs, and skilled artisans. While her lifelong passions for geography, gardening, and healthy living she set in motion an annual cycle of strategic planning with two goals: making Edible San Diego's editorial voice more inclusive of the entirety of San Diego County, and increasing awareness about the interconnectedness of people with the natural world. Even with the uncertainties of the pandemic, Katie's goals are to continue the tradition of making Edible San Diego a trusted source for finding new ways to gather people who care about this region. Congratulations, Katie. We'll have our eye on you.
A few years ago, the Press Club instituted the Wild Card Award category for coverage of a given topic, no matter what medium. That means television stories were judged next to newspaper and radio and website and magazine stories, all on the same topic. This year's topic, election coverage. The wild card winner for 2021 is the iNewsSource staff for its outstanding 2020 election coverage. The judges said, in the midst of the ongoing and unpredictable pandemic, with the public's trust in government eroding, this resolute team set out to leverage their investigative reporting and data expertise to deliver reliable election information to viewers, listeners, and readers. Through watchdog reports on local races, many of which had national influence, an easy-to-use voting guide, and a ballot lookup tool, voters were helped and guided through a changing landscape. This is public service reporting at an excellent level.
Congratulations. And now, the final award of the evening. It's the Body of Work category. Entrants submitted up to 5 examples of their best work of the year in any medium. Interest was outstanding for this category, making the judging very challenging. And the winning entry is Stolen, a year-long investigation into child sex trafficking and exploitation by Monica Dean, Tom Jones, Elroy Spatcher, and J.U. from NBC 739. The judges said, this 7-part series is the result of a year-long investigation into the state of child sex trafficking and exploitation in the San Diego region, utilizing an innovative multimedia content platform. The series offers insights into the depth of the problem, learning from survivors, their families, advocates, and even traffickers and sex buyers themselves. This entry is composed of video pieces, an interactive segment, written articles that expand on the video content, and poignant collections of letters of advice from survivors. Through this innovative approach to storytelling and the tireless work of a dedicated team, Stolen shines a light on the exploitation that puts children at risk and a system that allows people who pay for sex with children to face little to no penalties. One final time, congratulations to all of the winners. You should be receiving your list of winners just about now in your inbox. And of course, you can find it on our website. As our awards program comes to a close, remember the San Diego Press Club is here for you during good times and the challenging ones. I don't know what big stories will be in the coming year. It will be hard to top a worldwide pandemic and everything that has happened since the 2020 election. But we all do know that the San Diego Press Club will be celebrating the work that is done here and recognizing excellence in journalism for years to come. It's been a very fun night. Thanks so much for being a part of all of this. Good night, and see you at the after party.